Fox 5 News Edge at 11 starts now.
Good evening. I'm Deidre Dukes in for Doug Evans tonight. First on Fox 5 News Edge at 11. Crushed in shock and grief, a father finds his family dead in his Gwinnett County home. Tonight, reactions from neighbors as police try to determine what happened. Fox 5's Marissa Mitchell is live at the Gwinnett County Police Department with the latest. Marissa.
Deidre, neighbors near that home tell me they never noticed anything strange at the house in unincorporated Norcross, but now all they can do is give support to that father who has lost his closest relatives right before the holidays. A small memorial sits outside this home on Pebble Creek Drive, the scene of unthinkable tragedy. Police say a man found his 55-year-old wife, 26-year-old son, and 10-year-old daughter dead inside the house Friday afternoon.
It's so sad. It's only 10 years old.
Oscar and Martha Gonzalez live 2 houses down. They say they've lived in this community for decades, and they have never experienced anything like this.
I know reason to people get killed like this. I'm very shocked. That is the first time something like this happened around here. I live here for almost 20 years. I never see something like that happen. I'm very sorry about it.
Detectives are looking into the possibility the 26-year-old man shot his mother and sister before turning the gun on himself. However, the final cause and manner of death will come from the Gwinnett County Medical Examiner's Office. Meanwhile, neighbors like the Gonzalez family will do what they can to show support for the loved ones of the 3 relatives who used to live here. I spoke with relatives of the victims, and they tell me that they are now comforting that father who has just lost his wife, his son, and his daughter. In Gwinnett County, Marissa Mitchell, Fox 5 News.
Terrible loss for that family. Thank you, Marissa. Well, 6 new fires broke out in fire-whipped North Georgia this weekend, and the Georgia Forestry Commission says more are expected. High winds, low humidity, and no rain are all fueling the ongoing problem. The half-dozen blazes which started yesterday, including those in Lookout Mountain, Dade, Gordon, and Polk counties, are mostly contained. No evacuations or injuries have been reported. Well, a clear night across North Georgia, but boy, is it cold out there tonight. Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Jeff Hill is here with a look at our holiday week forecast.
That's
Jeff?
right, Deidre. And second night in a row, we'll see temperatures down to near freezing or below for much of the metro area. And again, tomorrow, we're going to have those dangerously dry conditions. Humidity levels dropping all the way below 20%. We have the winds coming in out of the north and northwest at about 10-20 miles an hour up in the mountains where a lot of those fires are burning. So dangerous fire conditions persist again as we head throughout the afternoon tomorrow. Here's a look at the radar and satellite picture. We just have crystal clear skies all across North Georgia, except maybe where some of the smoke from the fires is coming from. No storm systems coming in from the west. Now there will be a cold front by Wednesday, and then there's some snow showers going on to make things very November-like and holiday-like up across parts of the upper Great Lakes. 43 degrees outside right now. Dew points at 12. I mean, the air is just awfully dry. 28% humidity. North-northwest wind at 9 miles an hour. Got up to 56 earlier this afternoon. 37 was the official low at the airport, although most locations were a little bit closer to freezing. Right now, we're already in the 30s from Rome to Carrollton to Noonan. LaGrange at 35. It's 39 right now in Clayton. 30 degrees over in Blue Ridge. So early tomorrow morning, look for clear and cold conditions anywhere from 28 to 33. In fact, there could be some temperatures all the way up near Blairsville, maybe over toward Blue Ridge. That'll be down into the low to mid 20s. And the sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:15. We do have a slight chance of rain late Wednesday. Talk more about that and have the forecast for Thanksgiving coming up in just a few minutes. Deidre.
Thank you, Jeff. Murdered for living their lives. That is how dozens gathered at Georgia State University this evening. Remember the transgender people killed all over the globe in 2016. Well, today marks International Transgender Remembrance Day, a day celebrated in Atlanta for more than a decade. Well, Fox 5's Claire Sims is live in studio. And Claire, this year's event really took on a different tone.
It did, Deidre. About 100 people came together today to honor those lives lost, but they also spent time talking about the presidential election and what it could mean for people in the LGBT community over the next 4 years.
A toll of a bell follows each name read out loud. The names of more than 20 transgender people killed in 2016 across the United States. Sunday's ceremony at Georgia State University, part of Transgender Day of Remembrance, an annual observance in Atlanta and all over the world.
This is so important because we have trans people, human beings who are being murdered senselessly, solely based on our gender identity. And we just want people to be aware that we're not asking for special treatment. We're asking to be treated fairly and receive the same human rights that all other human beings are receiving.
But this year's event also took on a political tone in light of the recent presidential election. Some fear that what they saw as progress made under President Barack Obama will change when President-elect Donald Trump takes office, especially because many of the changes were made as executive orders.
I personally worked very hard to make the election outcome be a little different, and I also have some concerns. But with a few organizations that I'm a very proud volunteer for, I'm just going to work on spreading love instead of hate.
Some believe the results will just strengthen the political resolve of the LGBT community.
People got kind of complacent with Barack Obama, and so now this is really energizing the community, and I think this time they're going to be a lot stronger.
President-elect Trump has said in recent days that he considers the matter of same-sex marriage to be settled under the law. Deidre?
Claire, thank you. Well, today, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo visited a Harlem church where he talked about his new proposal to help crack down on hate crimes.
Today, I'm directing the Division of State Police and the Division of Human Rights to put together a special team of trained professionals that will investigate these hate crime incidents all across the state, the major ones, the minor ones, the infractions. And we will prosecute to the fullest extent of the law the perpetrator.
Governor Cuomo went on to say the state needs to address fears about economic insecurity, which he thinks is leading to an increase in hate crimes. Now to the battle between the president-elect and the cast of one of the most popular plays to ever hit Broadway. Mike Pence became the star of the show after the show, and President-elect Donald Trump took to Twitter to express his feelings about it. Fox's Rob Skite explains.
The battle between the president-elect Donald Trump and the cast of one of the most popular plays to ever hit Broadway continued today after a number of tweets yesterday. Mr. Trump tweeting out again this morning, the cast and producers of Hamilton, which I hear is highly overrated, should immediately apologize to VP-elect Mike Pence for their terrible behavior. On Friday night, Mr. Pence attended Hamilton with his daughter and other family members, and as the show was ending and Pence and family were leaving, the actor playing Aaron Burr read a prepared note singling out the vice president-elect.
We are the diverse America who are alarmed and anxious that your new administration will not protect us, our planet, our children, our parents, or defend us and uphold our inalienable rights, sir. But we truly hope that this show has inspired you to uphold our American values and to work on behalf of all of us.
Today on Fox News Sunday, Mr. Pence joined Chris Wallace and downplayed what happened.
I know this is a very disappointing time for people that did not see their candidate win in this national election. I know this is a very anxious time for some people, and I just want to reassure people that what President-elect Donald Trump said on election night, he absolutely meant from the bottom of his heart. He is preparing to be the president of all of the people of the United States of America.
After Mr. Trump tweeted yesterday calling the move harassment and calling the cast rude, the actor in question, Brandon Dixon, who plays Aaron Burr, responded by tweeting, "Conversation is not harassment, sir, and I appreciate Mike Pence for stopping to listen." Mr. Trump is not the only one upset over Friday's theater confrontation. Even a member of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, guitarist Steven Van Zandt, got on Twitter and said it's inappropriate to call out an audience member and embarrass him from the stage. That's interesting because Springsteen actually campaigned hard for Hillary Clinton, joining her on stage, and is a very outspoken critic of Donald Trump's. Reporting here in the newsroom, Rob Schmidt, Fox News.
Still out on Fox 5 News Edge, President-elect Donald Trump continues to build his team for the Oval Office. Who he has in mind to head national security. Then.
And make no mistake about it, this is pure evil when you execute an individual in cold blood.
ambushed and executed. A police officer gunned down today. Now the search for a cop killer intensifies in Texas. President-elect Donald Trump spent the weekend holding meetings with advisors and interviewing what he called numerous patriots as he works to complete a national security team. Fox's Jane Metzler has the details.
President-elect Donald Trump is working to assemble a new administration, meeting with former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani and Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach, among others.
He is preparing to be the president of all of the people of the United States of America.
The president-elect began filling key administration positions last week, picking Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions for Attorney General and Kansas Representative Mike Pompeo to head the CIA. Retired General Michael Flynn was also selected for National Security Advisor.
We will pursue policies to temporarily suspend immigration from areas that harbor and train terrorists until better vetting is put together.
Mitt Romney is considered a key contender to become the nation's next Secretary of State, and retired Marine Corps General James Mattis is a possible pick for Defense Secretary.
I think regime change in the Middle East hasn't worked, and so I think it's important that we get someone head of the State Department that understands what Donald Trump said over and over again. The Iraq War was a mistake.
Attending an economic summit in Peru, President Obama working to reassure world leaders that existing relationships will transcend party politics.
I can't guarantee that the president-elect won't pursue some of the positions that he's taken. But what I can guarantee is that reality will force him to adjust.
Former Texas Governor Rick Perry is set to meet with President-elect Trump on Monday. Jane Metzler, Fox News.
An intense manhunt underway in Texas for a cop killer who gunned down a San Antonio police officer today. San Antonio police said someone shot Detective Benjamin Marconi as he sat in his squad car writing a traffic ticket just outside police headquarters. Police said the shooter had parked behind Marconi's police car, got out, walked to the squad car, then shot the 50-year-old twice in the head at close range.
Well, I think there's obviously times in a community's life when evil touches it. To make no mistake about it, this is pure evil when you execute an individual in cold blood. There's no motive behind it. There's no justification for something as evil as this.
Marconi had been with the police department for 20 years. Police said there does not appear to be any connection between the motorist getting a ticket and the gunman. And now to a developing story. Tonight we have new details about the man who was killed outside the 5 Points MARTA station Saturday afternoon. The Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office tells Fox 5 the victim in Saturday afternoon shooting is 34-year-old Jason Ramsby. The victim was homeless. Atlanta police say someone shot Ramsby several times as well as another person before walking away. This cell phone video that you saw earlier shows the chaos after the incident. Investigators say they have very little information about the shooter.
We know that there were a lot of people out in this general area at the time of the shooting, so we're hoping that someone will come forward, at least give us some type of description, nickname, or anything to help further our investigation.
Police tell us the other person who was also shot had nothing to do with the argument. There is no word on that person's condition. Power to the people. Up next at 11, see how pounding the pavement is giving people the power to do something they probably never thought they could do. And Jeff's got your weather.
All right, Deidre, getting cold out there already. Temperatures in the 30s in some spots. I think tomorrow morning we're looking at lows down into the 20s, upper 20s to low 30s. So very, very cold night on the way. What about the rest of the week? We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up.
No sign of rain, but we're finally experiencing the fall-like weather.
Yeah, it finally feels like we're entering the holiday season with these cold temperatures we have overnight tonight. But the dry weather continues. If we don't get any rainfall through Thanksgiving, then we will tie the record for the most amount of days without rain.
No, we don't want to tie that one.
It's like a dubious one. We don't want that one. Hey, take a look at this cool picture. It's taken by my daughter, Madeline. She was flying home tonight, coming down along the I-85 corridor out of the Carolinas. And you can see a plume of smoke right there. That's coming in from that fire that's north of Greenville. So I think this one, she was like passing Greenville, North Carolina, or South Carolina. You can see a plume of smoke blowing down to the south. So Pretty cool. She snapped that picture. Here's a look at the radar and cloud composite showing clear skies overhead. Widen it all out. We got a storm system up in the northeast delivering some snow. In fact, some pretty heavy snowfall just to the lee of the Great Lakes. Breezy and cold conditions here in the southeast. It's going to stay that way overnight tonight. We'll see temperatures all the way down into the 20s and 30s. Tomorrow afternoon, sunshine. Temperatures climbing back into the upper 50s to right around 60. Then we should be well back into the 60s on Tuesday with lots of sunshine. Then our only hope for rain this week comes our way on Wednesday as a cold front approaches. I got a feeling a lot of this moisture is going to break up, but hey, we'll keep our fingers crossed that we at least get maybe a few showers late Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. High today was 56, low this morning 37, 716. The sunrise tomorrow morning. No rainfall at all so far this November. 2.62 inches below normal, 11.62 inches below normal on the year. And we haven't had recorded rain here in Atlanta since October 16th. Current temperature right now 43, dew points at 12. That's a very low number. In the middle of winter time, that's a low number. For this time of the year, it's extremely low. Humidity 28%, west or north-northwest wind at 9. 1 degree colder tonight than we were last night. Temperatures in some spots already down into the 30s, especially up to the north. See LJ at 33, 36 in Calhoun, 39 in Clayton. So we're looking at an overnight low temperature tonight of 32 degrees with clear skies heading into early tomorrow morning. Could get as cold as 22 up in Blairsville. 36 in Griffin, even 29 down toward LaGrange. And then the highs tomorrow, not a bad recovery. We get back up to around 60 degrees. It'll hold in the mid 50s though on to the north. So for tonight, clear, breezy and cold, overnight low 32. And then for tomorrow, sunshine, mild. The high temperature is 60. Gets even milder. It's going to be a mild week. A high of 65 on Tuesday, 68 on Wednesday. Cold front gives us a 20% chance of showers Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. And look at Thanksgiving, high of 67, 68 on Friday. And once we get into the weekend, only a slight chance of showers late on Sunday. Deidre?
All right, thank you, Jeff. Well, one of the busiest sidewalks in the center of this country's political power is now a science experiment. As Fox's Sarah Simmons reports, a prototype project in Washington, D.C. has sidewalks generating power through the power of pedestrians.
DuPont Circle is one of the busiest pedestrian areas in the city, and now the district is using that to its advantage. This is what's called a kinetic sidewalk.
They collect energy from pedestrians as they walk. Basically, the footfall energy is collected and stored in a battery during the day, and then each evening there's accent lighting in this pocket park.
The new Connecticut Avenue Overlook Park sits on the south side of DuPont Circle. You can see the LED lighting from underneath the benches that serve as a place to sit and take a break.
Our estimates are that about 1,000 people per hour during rush hour cross the medians here, and overall there's about 10,000 pedestrians a day. And so what that equates to is about enough energy to provide 6 hours each evening of LED lighting.
More importantly, the park is off the grid. As long as people are walking, the lights will always come on. An important piece of the program as the country's aging power grid is being pushed to its limit.
The sky's the limit. There's sidewalks everywhere, and pedestrians in cities are an opportunity to collect energy and power many more devices than just these LEDs on the benches.
So eventually, hope maybe traffic signals could be powered this way, street lights?
Could be. Sure.
That's the hope.
That's the hope.
For now, it's a pilot program, but project designers see this as an energy saver for the future.
These guys running on good old Sunoco fuel. NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship decided tonight. It was a wild finish. We'll tell you all about it next in sports. We've been covering Chase Elliott for a decade now, but this year was finally his rookie season in the Sprint Cup Series, and today the Dawsonville native won the NASCAR Rookie of the Year award. The future is definitely bright for the number 24. Well, at Homestead today, 4 drivers with a chance to win the season championship. One of the contenders, Carl Edwards, was on the front row on a restart with 10 laps to go, but got all messed up there. Martin Truex Jr.'s car caught on fire. Edwards was done for the day, and his championship's hopes dashed. Later, Jimmy Johnson going to take control after a red flag. Johnson had started from the back of the field, worked his way all the way back up front, led just 3 laps all night, but made him count. Johnson gets the win. It is now his 7th Sprint Cup Series title, tying him with Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt for the most all time.
I'm sure the world felt like anybody but Jimmy Johnson was going to win the championship with 20 to go, and then it changed so quick with a green-white checkered at the end.
And a rough day for former Georgia Bulldog A.J. Green. Green's right foot caught awkwardly as he tried to make a catch on the Bengals' first pass of the day today. Grabbed his right hamstring as he hit the ground. Reports out tonight he may miss the rest of the year with that hamstring injury. And this makes you even more thankful for Matt Bryant. One of the biggest storylines of this Sunday, missed extra points in the NFL. 11 missed extra points today, the most in a single week in the Super Bowl era. Previous high was 10, but that was before the kicks got moved back to become the equivalent of a 35-yard kick. Falcons off. They've got the Cardinals at home next week. Teacher?
All righty, that'll do it for us. Thank you for joining us for Fox 5 News Edge. Georgia Gang coming up next. You can stay connected to Fox 5 around the clock by liking our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page and following us on Twitter at Fox 5 Atlanta. Hey, subscribe to our Fox 5 Atlanta YouTube channel, and do be sure to wake up with Good Day Atlanta starting at 4:30 a.m. There's a lot of good stuff there. Have a good night.